Hello, everybody. Hello, hello. Cannot hear you yet.
You can't hear me?
Yes, now yes. Hello.
Hi. How are you?
Fine, and you?
I'm all right, thank you.
So, for the people who are joining, we are admitting people right now. We are a bit not late, but anticipating. So, just let us everybody in, and that in 7 minutes we will start.
Yeah,
Okay. Do you have all the permission, Naila? Everything is okay?
I'm just checking. Yeah,
You want to try to share?
yeah, I can share.
Okay. So I think everything is fine.
Mhm.
Yes. Maybe I will change my name because we both are the soft. Okay. Okay.
Let me try to change my name. Yeah, it's up.
Okay. So for people who already joined, let's wait 5-6 minutes to have everybody on board. Okay.
I'll stop sharing. Hi, everyone. Welcome to our session today. We'll just give it 1 more minute so that everyone can join.
Hello, everybody. I am speaking in behalf of Luke Norland, who is going to arrive. Okay, it's just some minutes later, but I would like to have this occasion to introduce you Naila, who is a very kind person and our collaborator for the Deosoft team. And she is a collaborator also of Luke. She's an homeopath and a great expert of RadarOpus. So in this minute, until Luke's arrive, I am sure she will share with you a lot of interesting things about the program and the news we have. So Luke is on this way, and in the meanwhile, I give the word to Naila. Thanks for being part of our community.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for using RadarOpus because I love it. I love it since I started using it. And Luke is not here because sometimes family takes over and things happen. That's why he asked me if I can help with whatever he's doing. And of course, I am not an expert as he is. I'm assisting him and is working with him now. I'm also part of RadarOpus team, and I'm here for your questions. If I am able to answer them, I'll answer them. But before we go, hopefully Luke will arrive by that time. We wanted to share QREP with you because it has arrived on in RadarOpus, and we thought we'll just let explore which 3 rubrics have been added to QREP and mental qualities. And yes, we'll go from there. If I share my screen, so you can see my
Yes, I see perfectly your screen. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm not sure how many of you have used QREP before. I'm an avid user of QREP because just if the case is high on themes and thematic language and you don't find any physical particulars, or the person just walks into your practice and starts talking about, I feel like this has happened in my life. You see money themes coming up, you see anticipation coming up, and if our masters have done some amazing work on something, why not use it? Do you see ambitious people, or do you just go and use a rubric called ambition? You see fear of dark, or just darkness in their life, you go and use the rubric called dark or divided doubled. This is how I have started studying. When I was studying, I repertorized using themes and just a few general rubrics. And seriously, there are really good remedies came up. And after doing the differentiation and after doing the totality rubrics as well, I would come to similar type of remedies or similar set of remedies. Uh, so if someone has done the hard work and have put in their effort, let's use it. The new rubrics that are added, and I think that is the most important rubric or quality of our times, is identity. Now, so many people walk into our practice and talk about, I just don't know who I am anymore, or I don't know, I've lost my track. Or even children, teenagers nowadays, they're also talking about what do I do about it, or I don't know if I am even comfortable in my own skin. This is where I think about all the identity themes coming up and which rubric to take. I'm thankful to Jeremy share that he added this rubric because we can just straightforward, even if we just straightforwardly use this one rubric, That's enough for the case, because we will know any remedy that has identity at its core, or in the proving identity came up, that remedy is going to be in this rubric. And other mental quality that he added is time. Like sometimes there are people who are just fixated on time, or there is time about future, past, anything in relation to time is in there. I'm just trying to find, or I can just type in time, and here you go, 328 remedies. And then there are also primary remedies over there, which you can look at. The third one he added is sexual spectrum. Oh, you're right. Just type in sexual spectrum, 159 remedies. And yes, here you go. These three mental qualities have been added into the new version of QREP. Luke is here.
Hi, Nyla. Thank
You
you.
want to take it over, you can, or I can also.
Hello, Luke. Surprise.
Hi, everyone.
Hello. Hello,
I was
everybody.
looking to your HPP homeopathic practice part. If you want me to go over it quickly, I can, or you take over. I'm happy with that as well.
Yeah, why don't you show how you use it, and then I can talk through what's happening with it, because it's being
Right.
continually updated
Hmm.
as my knowledge increases with how to use it.
Okay, brilliant. So I did some experimentation today. I'm going to share it with you. So I went online. I found a case of a child, case of fear cured by homeopathy, 9 years old. So in this, I am going in the reverse order how I usually work with it. I copied the case into practice partner, homeopathic practice partner, and asked gave just a simple command: can you analyze this case for me and give me the golden thread? Because I want to know why have the person chosen the remedy they have chosen. Just even if you just read what it gives you after just giving one command, it it's learning in itself. Like you are learning homeopathy, you are going to the basics, and it's going to tell you about the mental generals, like what's the central theme. Sometimes all we want is just to orientate ourselves. Where is the case leading? What is the core? Maybe our mind is scattered, or our patient has make us feel like we can't find the golden thread. And this can be just the beginning of uh, what your analysis can look like. So I went there and I thought, I was reading and I started repertorizing it. Because as you go, it uses the repertory language. Luke has trained it really well. It uses homeopathic language. It is not delusional. It's not going to tell you anything that is not a homeopathic ChatGPT will tell you. But the best thing is that it's using homeopathic words, homeopathic language that you can put into your repertorization as well. I went in, I repertorized the case, and even with just putting in 5 rubrics, I was seeing the remedies he has chosen coming up. The family is coming up really strong here. Loganacea family, Ignatia is coming, Nux vomica is coming. And another thing that was very interesting for me in this was when I was going through this, there was a strong emphasis on nervous symptoms, nervous symptoms. So gave me next commands as well. Do you want to do a minimal rubric set? Want me to build a minimal rubric set? Or you want to give me a mathematic flavor? And it's not telling me remedies that I can use. The other chat GPTs, when you put in a case, they will tell you, oh, go with this remedy, go with this remedy, and this remedy might not be right. But this is homeopathically trained. It's us is telling you what you need to do, how you can use it, how you can approach the case. basically an assistant. Then yeah, it gave me some rubrics, which were, some of them are in the repertory, some of them he just makes up because that's what he's supposed to do, but in the right way. So what I did next was I started repertorizing the true rubrics from the selection of rubrics he has given me here. And this is how my chart looks like. It's just like I've done it in 5-10 minutes. Could be if I give more time and if I work even more precisely, if it was my case, I would have done a better job. It was telling me about the rubrics. This rubric you can take. There are quite a few rubrics he was telling which were not there. But again, I could find a center, I could find a core. What I really like is why these rubrics works, because he just does not it just does not tell you go with this, go with that, these are the, but it tells you these are the particulars, these are the general themes, these are the mental symptoms, and you can ground yourself. Now this is interesting, as going through the case and analyzing it, also started saying, for your study purposes, I can look at these remedies: Nix vomica, arsenicum, phosphorus, anacardium, and carcinosin. Very interesting for me because the case was solved with Nix vomica. I'm not saying that that you should be solving your cases with this. Um, But again, it's nice and interesting to know that we can actually take help from AI if we need to, and then we can also help many more people do many more cases. I study with it every day. I asked it to give me, okay, now a snapshot, give me a case summary, and this is what it came up with, which is, I think, really, really nice how it has summarized the case. It gave me a mental emotional picture, dreams, physical journals, past history. I can just copy this and put it in my notes to have next time when the child comes in, I can just look at uh, in a glance. I will know what were the issues, what was happening, and it will freshen up my memory. And yes, this is what I did with homeopathy practice, what I'm using it with many things, because I love exploring all these ideas.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Thank you, Nina. That's really interesting. Good idea. Putting an existing case into it. I like that idea. Yeah.
I was like, why not? Let's try how accurate it is.
Mm.
And if it matches what we might be doing in our practice. It is,
Mm.
I'm not saying it's always, because again, I copy pasted the case, so the remedy was there as well that I copy pasted, so it must have picked that up as well. But again, it's doing, like, we can also use for differential. We can copy the remedy notes that we have. We can also copy the link of the proving in there and can ask if this proving is matching the core of my patient, and
Mhm.
then read through it. So,
Mm.
like, it's like not
Mm.
taking your work away, but it's streamlining your mind into working in a precise way where you can use all your expertise in less time and focus on what's actually important.
Mm. Yes. Thank you. Yeah, there's broadly speaking two ways to use it. One is as like a peer-to-peer supervisor who can, because the linguistics of an LLM of ChatGPT are naturally very good. So if it's going to pull out like a thread from language, it can do that without much training, really. And then basically, it's got some broad instructions which explain its role and the sort of language it should use and how it should frame the discussion. And then there are various disclaimers that it has to make sure it passes mustard with OpenAI, because you can't be diagnosing or giving advice or anything like that. So it's as a study reflective partner. And then there's a second way, because I've been learning how to get into the under the hood of these custom GPTs more. There's a second way of using it, which if you follow the preset conversation starters, you can force it to only use its training material and not draw on all of its like past experience. It's drawing from the internet, and so it won't muddle things up. I mean, sometimes that's fine, basically. If you want just a more of a chat-like environment, that works very well. But if you want it to do something very specific, it can with the right prompts, essentially. So if I share my screen, when we release 4.1.12, it will be available from the welcome screen via a link. And then it opens with a disclaimer, and it explains what it can and it can't do. And then you click here to open it. Okay. So essentially, if you want to just go straight into it and talk to it, you can, and it's got its defined role, and it will behave like that. Recently I discovered that, because basically I learned how to build this by talking to ChatGPT, and it told me that I could upload zip files, and it turns out I can't upload zip files, and you have to upload a specific type of file. So it's received kind of an upgrade because I've actually given it the right file system now. So it's able to use my Mapamundi teaching material that's already online on lukenorland.co.uk. But essentially, what I can do now is go into a case and take some symptoms. Okay. Please map these symptoms onto the Mapamundi. And it should use only the training material where it's going to semantically match those phrases with the closest keywords that it has. There we go. So it's identifying semantic fields. So it's looking at the natural language that your patient uses, and then it's going to find the words that relate to it. So it says there's a strong underworld component, which relates to elemental air in Mapamundi, which is about darkness. The light has gone, if you like. It equates to suffocation, the respiratory system, nervous shocks. It includes remedies like aconite and solanaceae very naturally here. So if you're someone who has been taught Mapamundi or want to explore it, this is like a module that you previously would have taken a long time to build in software. And when you give it the right prompts, you can essentially turn this into a module, a keyword module, which is amazing, really. And you can see how it's going to revolutionize software development.
Basically can ask, if it's giving you this, just ask, can you step by step explain it to me? Why are you saying this? How did you come to this? Why this theme and not that theme? Just talk to it as it's your teacher.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so you can say, look, I am not yet accustomed to Mapamundi. Please teach me about the air underworld hole. And because you've again, because you queried it in the right way, it stays within the specific framework of its training. And that means that it takes a little bit longer to reply because it's using a search engine and referring to a particular file. But essentially, it will teach you the Mapamundi model if you ask it the right way. And so you can apply the same sort of approach that Nyla has done by just asking for, like the golden thread of the case, and that will help you organize your material. Um, you could also ask like, would be a good repertorial strategy considering this you have so far. And if you put based on your training, you're prompting it to be more specific in how it replies, like it's going to look at how I've trained it more and give that more credence than what it can find in its prior training and with its existing models. So I uploaded a massive presentation that I made on how to use repertory that it's going to draw upon, hopefully.
Because it's sometimes we all know there's similar rubrics, and what if we choose one rubric and not the other one, and the remedy is not there? So it's all that's why, as I mentioned earlier, I like QRep. If a
Mm.
real quality is there, just putting that in there. And I've been using the one Luke has created. Luke has created a really wonderful thematic repertory. I also use it to learn different remedies. For example, if I'm learning a new remedy, I can't go through all the rubrics of the remedy. If you just type the remedy, look for what Luke has done, which themes he has used for for that remedy, it will give you a flavor that we want of the remedy. And this is what you can do with the practice partner as well. For example, you copy these themes into it and ask it to find the proving and teach you in homeopathic way what the remedy is without delusioning, without making things up, and maybe ask it to sum it up for you in a paragraph. How would you see that remedy in real world?
Mm. Yeah, it's very good at synthesizing rubrics into real text, isn't it? So
Yeah, love
it,
it.
yeah, the linguistic skills of it are incredible. I'm just
Yeah,
going to check these questions out while they're there, Nyla.
yeah.
So Bridget's free chat GPT limits the number of questions. Are there limits to the number of? No, so the module's not in RadarOpus. It's in ChatGPT right now. So it's a free tool that we've developed that anyone can use. If you get ChatGPT Plus, I think it's $20 a month, and then you won't be limited with the questions. So it's a pretty cheap homeopathy module, essentially.
Mm,
Um, with regards to having it in RadarOpus, essentially, when we're dealing with copyright material, so right now it's focusing on classical homeopathy, things that are not copyrighted, so it's no problem. But once we want something that's going to access our database, it becomes a different beast. And if we build a tool in RadarOpus that does that, or in Opus Plus, then it needs to be on our server, and then to have a server that functions with AI capabilities is incredibly expensive. So
mm,
as soon as we turn this into like a RadarOpus tool, you'll be charged a lot of money.
mm,
You'll have to pay per query because your query is sent as a token to the server, and then it returns the answer, and that keeps the data safe. So right now it's, enjoy the fact that it's so cheap. Yeah, would be my advice. And then the likelihood is that we'll integrate something fully in in Opus Plus or in some other online tools. But the reality of we might be able to build a search in RadarOpus that does an API call, which is how you call this AI stuff. But yes, I don't want to get too technical. So with Carolyn's question, okay, that sounds like, I mean, I've not seen that error before, Carolyn. It sounds like it might be to do with logging into OpenAI. Maybe try on your computer and see if you can log in that way. And check your login details for ChatGPT. Do you have an account? So that loading page when you first launch it, that kind of explains a bit about what it is and that you have to, be logged in. And that means like signing up to the T's and C's, which is that whatever you put into it trains the large language model. So you shouldn't put copyright material in. I mean, copy pasting stuff that's, 40 rubrics is okay. You can't copy paste a whole repertory into it because then you're giving that information away, essentially. And,
Luke, sorry to
yeah.
interrupt, but I think that Caroline hasn't updated yet to the 4.1.
Oh,
So
yeah.
probably she has the right to do it, but it seems she uses still 2.2. So we need to make support maybe.
Okay.
So she can then access to this function.
Okay.
Okay, Caroline, please check because I already sent you 2 emails last time for joining the support. So we can update your program and you can access this function. Okay.
And another thing, what help with it, because before ChatGPT, this homeopathic practice partner was opening in browser on mobile phone. Now, if you are logged into, if you have the app, ChatGPT app, it will open in the app. That might
Yeah.
help.
Yeah. It comes up in the file as GPTs on the side there. Yeah. Yeah. But you can, I mean, on Microsoft, if you use Microsoft Edge, you can go to a website and then download it as an app, and then it appears as though it were an app on your desktop, and you don't have to have it in your browser. I can't remember exactly how to do it now, but there is a way. Yeah. Another thing that I think I had a little breakthrough with it is because it's typical for LLMs to hallucinate about rubrics, especially because it's hard you can't upload a repertory to it and expect it to search it because it has to scan thousands of lines to do it. But I'm pretty sure I found a way for it to reliably use Kent's repertory now. So if I load a new one and again use the pre-built prompt here for rubric help. And then we just enter. So this is like doing a search in RadarOpus. You don't put a whole case in here. You just put in a particular symptom. So feel worse generally in cold air. And it should look just in Kent's repertory. Okay. But it hasn't given you the full thing there. So I do still wonder. So there are like limitations with it, which brings me on to the next topic, which is this tool that I've built, which is not, is still in development, but this is using natural language processing and synthesis as a database. So if we do the same search A minute, hang on, what was it? They feel worse generally in the cold air. Turn. It's not bad.
Mm-hmm.
Try another one. Okay, so it's pretty good for especially mental emotional symptoms. When you're very specific about, so they get headache, side, morning, sharp. It's not quite so useful at the moment. Need to figure out a way. But I mean, most people are okay at searching physical symptoms, and it's certainly mentals that are trickier. So try,
Physical, usually easy to find just in radar, like three key parts of the physical symptom, and it can generally find a good rubric.
yeah, yeah. So that's pretty good.
Yeah,
So
but
yeah,
yourself.
that's kind of the next step is having these tools that aren't reliant on it's not actually reliant on AI at all, but it's like adding natural language embeddings into the repertory so that the repertory is not static chunks of information, but is more like a sentence, essentially. Um, yeah.
Um,
So Carolyn, this tool is not yet published, so it's not available yet. I'm giving you a preview really of but the plan is to have it available in some form soon. Haven't figured it all out yet, but it will probably be an online tool, most likely. One of the things that's quite hard to do with it is because when someone worries about money, very typically you use mind, fear of poverty. It's quite hard to train it to associate money and poverty together unless you build in very specific rules around it. So it's quite an interesting game trying to teach a modern language model how the Victorian repertory works. Maybe if you say they worry about losing money, it'll find it. Anyway, it's useful, right? And the fact is, you're going to find when you take that into the repertory, you're going to find all sorts of cross references. And you see rubrics that you would probably not ever consider, and they can add to your thought process. So that's kind of the update. Does anyone have questions about RadarOpus? And
There's a question. I can make this search. Cold air aggravates in RadarOpus using the F4, F5 button.
Yes, exactly. It's when you know what you're doing as a homeopath, it's incredibly easy and fast to do a keyword search. And if you're looking for the whole person, you can add generals. So this sort of thing, we don't need so much from a semantic search engine. The semantic search engine is there particularly for newcomers who may already have a lot of experience, like working with patients in different, in different healthcare settings, but they don't know Victorian English and they don't know the conventions of repertories with ag and amel, and they don't know where things are. And it takes a lot of training, and it's good training, but it can be off-putting. As someone who teaches a lot of first years, when they see this ancient book in front of them and they're expected to learn it, and they've come to homeopathy as a transformation out of their old life into a new one, and maybe they're not physicians, and they're not linguistics, then it presents a big hurdle, and people do drop out, and they might be brilliant practitioners, but these so perhaps these new technologies can help newcomers to homeopathy and also help seasoned pros just to get out of a rut, because if you use a semantic tool like that, not only does it potentially add speed to your work, it opens the door to rubrics that you don't normally use, because we all end up having our favorite rubrics.
Yes, that I've noticed with many. The rubrics become your favorite unless we go and explore, just like with your semantic explorer. Like we sometimes never think about, oh, these rubrics actually exist.
Yes.
It's very important for us to go and actually read the repertory. For me, it is very even difficult because English is not my native language.
No.
I have two, three languages, and then these tools are very, very helpful just to get to that precise rubric. Sometimes gems are hidden in those precise rubrics, like this rubrics fit my case top to bottom.
Yes. Yes. Yes, definitely. Yeah. Yeah, it's so true. It's something that I'm really, really keen to introduce and see how it can help.
Mm.
So with your question, Carolyn, about this, like a diagnosis, that would not be searchable in the semantic explorer, because that is about putting in, especially like mental emotional states, and trying to find the best rubric equivalent. And this is a real challenge because these softwares are expecting you to match a natural language with another natural language. And the repertory is totally unnatural, broken up blocks of words. So it's very difficult for it to do it. And that's why it ends up with things that seem, that they shouldn't be there. So what I ended up doing was replacing mind in the whole document that I use, and replacing it with they experience mental and emotional states manifesting as sadness. And then it becomes an actual natural sentence. So
It's a lot of work that you have put in there. Definitely. But to you, Caroline, if you put this medical phrases in normal repertory in radar, etc., you'll find it in the modern repertories as well. Like the modern repertories are using medical language, medical terms as well. Like I can find it. There is a rubric called myelodysplastic syndrome, and there is one remedy. Yeah, imatinib. I've not heard of this remedy, but it is in there. So yeah, that can be can be very, very helpful.
Yeah, there are some Farouk Masters added a lot of clinical terminology to synthesis.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that rubric is from him as well.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the remedy is also from, yeah, of course, the rubric is from him, remedies from him.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll copy it for you, Caroline.
But I mean, I don't know what this means really. So putting it into a large language chat GPT, specifically the homeopathic one, I asked it to show me what the typical symptoms would be. And it's doing it in a classical homeopathy setting, which is good. So that's the way to explore these things. Yeah.
There's something very interesting that is happening in current cases because they are coming from a different background. We have studied it in our during our studies as well. Like for example, if the person is taking medication now, we as homeopaths have to know if this symptom is of the side effect of the medication, if it's a true symptom of the patient. And yeah, then again becomes the journey of exploring if I do give the homeopathic remedy made from that medication to help counteract the symptoms.
Yeah.
What do I do now? That another thing that needs exploring anyway.
Going back to Dr. Gabriel's case from the
Yeah.
last session, yeah,
Absolutely.
that's a good, really clever use of you know, and outside of using this homeopathically trained GPT, if you want to ask more specifically about, natural sciences or pharmacology or toxicology, it's better to use just the regular chat GPT or other AI. This one has its specific role and it will try and maintain that. Um, yeah.
There's some questions. Rachel is asking what else is new in 4.1.12?
Yeah, so 4.1.12 is mostly, some technical fixes. It's adding this AI button to the welcome screen, and it's allowing you to download the new Manjulavori repertory, Suggester version 2. And for that, you can go to the shop and it comes up here, but it's also available as an update if you already have it. So if you check updates, or I forget the terminology, maybe it's an upgrade, or maybe it's not coming up because I already have Suggester 2. So I think it's an update. And if you already have Suggester 1, it should appear in this list. Okay. Then you buy it here.
Yes, Luke, I think that it's because you already have it. But
Thanks.
if person does not have, he should see it.
You'll see it. You click on buy and then proceed with the payment or add more to the cart. Pay with a card. Once you get the receipt after going through the shop, you then have one more step to make, unfortunately, which is to go to tools, no, help, check for new content. Then the best thing you can do is click on this header here a couple of times, and then the repertories come to the top. Then you've got Manjulavori, Suggester 2, Sure, Mental Qualities version 5. Both both updates are available if you already owned the earlier version. Then you download them, and then after restarting, you've got them in your program. And this is a full scale, large repertory, similar in scope to synthesis and complete, but it's been organized in a brilliant way. So each chapter, in the past, he had it in Latin, which I think he's definitely changed now. It maybe wasn't the best idea in the start, but there we go. If you open a chapter, you've got 3 sections in each chapter mainly, which makes navigation more friendly. You're not bombarded with symptoms. And then you've got your kind of like general physiological states, then you've got particular conditions, illnesses. So it makes clinical work easier. And then you've got a specific section on pain. And that is replicated throughout the structure. Well, throat encompasses different sections, which is useful. So I would say in navigational sense, it's a massive upgrade on what we're used to in synthesis and complete, where most people end up relying on the search tool an incredible amount because the structure is a bit laborious. So I think that solves this, and they've done the cross-referencing really well. And there's a neat tool in RadarOpus that if you press F6, which opens this window, especially when the cross references are so neat and tidy as this, you can easily so down here, take also cross references, and then combine them in one rubric. And then you get what you could call a meta rubric, or something that encompasses the main one plus the cross references. I think in this case, they've not got remedies in. They're actually just linking. That's why it didn't change the amount of remedies there. But we go to like mind, abrupt, do the same thing. So F6, take the cross references, combine in one rubric. This will now be a much bigger rubric. So that's new. We'll also be releasing shortly my dad's book. It was his anniversary of his death yesterday, so it's quite timely. This is a great book, and it has polycrest remedies written beautifully, and a good section on miasms, and generally it's got information about how to use the doctrine of signatures, understanding the Hermetic tradition. So it's a good philosophy book. It's a good year one book, year one and year two for learning homeopathy. But it's one of those that takes you back to fundamental principles.
Or if you just want to revise the basics again, like it will ground us into what we need to learn, what we need to study. If you're not as fortunate as I am to study with the School of Homeopathy, because this was we had to read it. We had to, and it grounded us in our studies. Really, really helpful book.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, if you look at the list of remedies in the actual Materia Medica, it's our classics. Looking at first at the the anti-psoric trio of Hahnemann, and you'll see that the themes are very nice. So it's a lovely book to have available. So that will be coming soon and will be in the shop as well. And then there's another book from another dearly departed homeopath, Luc de Schepper.
Oh, wow.
And this is introducing his concepts and core delusions. And this book is very big and full of his teaching materials. And his widow agreed that we could prepare this document, and it's a lovely homage to his teaching. So they're both really good books to learn from
Hmm.
no longer with us master homeopaths. So we're excited about those.
This book is not easily available. So if you find an old copy, that will be easily 100 to 200 pounds.
I don't this is a kind of collection of different
Yeah.
things as well. So
Mm.
it's got these core delusions of the main remedies, which is also
Okay.
very useful. So let's say you've got a repetrization that features agaricus. It will now be, or even aurum should be in there. If I search in my open references now that will come up, and all sorts of things about Aurum in this book,
Amazing.
which I think, yeah, will be a big enhancement. The name of the De Shepper book is Concepts and Core Delusions, and it's a compilation of different material from his study courses. And it was invented originally as a kind of repertory in an earlier incarnation in RadarOpus, but it never saw the light of day. So we've kind of turned it into a Materia Medica. Yeah, so search and open references, Rachel. There's all sorts of places you can search. So I just opened two reference books, so two Materia Medicas. So now if I choose search and open references, it's just going to search in those books. So it's kind of a quick, so you don't have to scan through loads of Materia Medica, because if I search for Aurum in all references, there's loads. And then I've got to scan through or type to Shepper, so it's a bit of a shortcut. But you can search, look at this, you can search in specific types of books as well. So if you want to know the therapeutics of Aurum, you search for it in therapeutics. And then you say, Burnett used it for cataracts. Didn't know that. You see how much information there is in this program. It's kind of insane.
Yes, I am. This reminded me of a case that I had when you were talking about Sagesta. I knew which remedy family I'm going towards. The person has psoriatic arthritis, and I said, let's search if there is something on psoriatic arthritis in RadarOpus. And Sagesta has a rubric, arthritis, inflammation, joints, psoriatic and deforming. That was like the rubric that was matching my symptoms. And the one remedy from the family that I was looking into was there, and the person is doing really well after the remedy.
Nice. Psoriatic. Yeah. So what you saw me do there was to click the dictionary button, which is that little blue thing, and disable psoriasis as an additional word. Because when I first searched, it found and mostly that's useful, because it's a dictionary. It means you can type chill and also get chills or chilly, for example. But in this case, it was useful to turn it off to see that highly specific rubric of Nyla's. Yeah, interesting. Sometimes it's nice when you get a very specific rubric, isn't it? And the remedy that's in there fits, case,
It's in there. So in synthesis, Adonis, it was in the psoriatic joints inflammation, and in Sagesta, it was in rheumatoid inflammation,
Right, yeah.
because there is a rheumatoid arthritis as well. So which was kind of decisive for me.
So again, you have to disable that if you want to search specifically rheumatoid. There we go.
Sometimes just like sitting with your software, if like it's a tool, it has years and years and years of work behind it, and just exploring different terms, different things about your case, and sometimes really some gems come out.
Rochelle, you can't look at your downloaded documents. So there are things in that updater window that download to a folder. So if you check for new content, some of these like the PDFs, mammal themes, if you go ahead and download that to open them, please use menu command file open free notes. I mean, it's not a particularly friendly way of saying it, but you basically go up to where is it? Forgotten what it said now. File open free notes. So it is there. That opens the file where they're downloaded to, and then you can open them. It should be easier for sure. But that's how to do it. File open free notes. There should be a little shortcut at least for it. Otherwise, you're right, it's very hidden. Okay, so someone's AI says giving us some action items for the meeting. That's very kind. Now, is there anything else? The next thing that's almost ready is a repertory that I've been making that I've called Synoptic Guide. And I think I talked about it last time a little bit. And it's got the themes from the thematic repertory that have been updated. It's got an affinity section, which is based on the chapters from the Synoptic Key repertory. And they're just designed to be big and broad so that you can drag and drop in a simplistic way to build a base layer of an analysis on the affinities. There are things that are missing in there. It will need an update. Performance are basically ailments from symptoms, but expanded and named more poetically. The modalities section is an update of the therapeutic pocketbook. And so it's organized by Ag and Amel. And so those will be, I mean, not all of them have been updated. So ones that I feel are more relevant have been updated with, you know, both classical and modern remedies, essentially. So if you look at ailments, aggravation from noise, you'll see one thing you'll notice as well is that the grading structure is a bit different to synthesis. It follows Boninghaus and Knur more specifically, so there's more high grade remedies in there, but also, modern remedies like Lacumanum, Lacoquinum, Koala. So I've compiled things out of synthesis and added them into synthesis and other repertories into this. So it's got a nice, easy structure. That's the design brief with this repertory. It's big, generalized rubrics in a really simple structure for you to build a kind of base layer of your analysis that then you can put a smattering of either a small rubric that's an SRP or like a family or a miasm, something that filters the repertorization down and works with that base layer. Okay, so with the font, there's two aspects to it. One is that RadarOpus displays much more crisply on Windows if you set the magnification settings to 100%. So I think it's or zoom settings. Can't remember exactly what it is now in Windows, but set that to 100%, even though Windows explains that you should have it at 125. It's resolution. Display, change the resolution of the display. There we go. So the first thing to do is set that to 100. See? And then we go to text size. And then you drag that slider up. So I've got mine set to 142. And that makes the text throughout your PC bigger, even though your resolution will make, the windows look smaller. But that is the best setup for RadarOpus. And then, as Nyla said, in the options, you can change. It only goes up to 13 on Windows. There are some constraints with the graphical, the GUI, as we call it. Um, so that's why that is. It's kind of easier to have bigger text on a Mac for some reason. I don't know why. And this particular font um, is bigger as well than some of the others. So Segoe 13, but the big thing is that text size. So to get to settings on Windows, you just press the Windows key and then type the thing that you're looking for. Okay, that makes it easy. You don't have to hunt around in menus.
There was a question earlier about what do the numbers in bracket means in your semantic search.
Yeah, that's to do with so the number is to do with the like how semantically similar it is, I think. So that wasn't a great example there. Hmm, those numbers are to do with sort of how closely it's matched semantically, I think. So when it's a higher number, it's sort of further away. I mean, I don't know how useful they are. I could change the script to get rid of it, really. Hmm.
Yeah, when it's in negative, what do we think?
Yeah, it's a bit confusing, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is a nice result, remorse after anger.
Mm.
And down at the bottom, there's this thing which shows you a bit more detail, like what synonyms were used rather. And the expansions is where I've taught it that if you see the word guilt, you should use reproaching oneself. So this tool will become better the more specific transformations I put into it that are homeopathically specific, right?
That's really
Like
helpful.
if someone's chilly, there's no way it would know to look up
Mm.
general's heat, lack of vital. It's like, no, you
Yeah.
have to train that, hard code that in. Um,
Yeah.
yeah,
But again, the synthesis, Adonis is also already doing it. If you type chili, it's helping you to go to lack of vital lead.
exactly. Yeah, I mean, a lot of these things are,
Yeah.
we're used to, and yeah. Yeah, I think the Semantic Explorer is the other thing that I've been working on is something that literally you just put in a set of words and then it's designed to be really broad in its synonym expansion, and then it will find all the little sub rubrics and dreams and everything that relate to that as a theme. And
Wow.
that's something that if you remember, Dr. Paolo Campanella was talking about his like grid view of the repertory. So he's kind of collaborating on that.
Hmm.
Mm.
Sounds really interesting. Looking forward to it. Someone asking, is your synoptic key in radar now?
Synoptic Guide will it will be the next thing after those Materia Medicas
Mm.
to come in. Yeah. So yeah, not long.
Caroline, I think Sarah mentioned that you have to get in touch with support. So I think your issue will be resolved if you get in touch with them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That sounds like it's got stuck. I
Mm.
think
Yes, but I thought that last time I already sent an email to Caroline. I don't know. I think she had answered me, but of course, Caroline will send you another one tomorrow because of the support, etc. Because we need to update, and you will have everything. Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you.
You're a treasure.
You too.
Yeah.
You too.
Sarah
You.
is so helpful.
Great.
Naila too. Too.
Yeah, we've all got halos today.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And yeah, before I think the time is running out. Before we go, Sarah, we can mention the
Yes.
the gift that we are giving out, the 20% off. That will be nice.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's 20% off buying a new package or upgrading a package. Ah, there we go.
There on books, 20% off. It's
There you go.
Evelyn Source and
Ah,
Substance,
nice.
Manella's Crystals Bundle, Murphy Repertory version 3, Botanical Repertory from Jacquire, a New World Veterinary Repertory. Like, even though it's a veterinary repertory, but if you are looking for key physical symptoms, and if it is a V behind it, that's a remedy that I would choose. Sometimes Myzems from Ortega and a pocketbook and polar symptom analysis, 20% off for 3 days only.
Hmm.
So
Okay.
from tomorrow, if everybody joins the or enters the CRM, you will see automatically discounted those listed items. So
Hmm.
if some of you want to do, you can. And if you want anything else from us, we are here to help. Okay.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, everybody.
See you
Hello.
next time.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Nella. Thank you, Luke.
Thank you.
Ciao.
Ciao,
See you
everyone.
soon.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.